level rise, frequency of adverse weather, and food insecurity are just a few of the very real issues that the Fijian community face on the daily basis in this 21st century. These situations emerged with the onset of changing global weather patterns and climate change, and have wreaked havoc in the lives of the Fijian, especially those in rural areas. While Fijian coastal communities grapple with these and the fact that their children might have to find new homes elsewhere, it is equally hard for them to protect terrestrial ecosystems and food sources from the forces of globalization and interest of multinational extractive corporations. This in turn compounds the issues of insecurity, shortage and vulnerability of many communities where developments have been taking places and have caused substantial amount of damages on the environment and community as a whole, in terms of their livelihood and kinships that have been created and experienced for centuries. With this being said, the Archdiocese of Suva embarked on a journey through Caritas Fiji, and here we are in Ba, exploring the development site where the black sand mining is taking place. The mineral that is being extracted is called iron magnesium, which is contained in the black sand. The process of mining is as such. The machine named Tilibambukuya, which is a dredge machine, dredged the black sand out of the waters and send it to another machine named Koronumbu, which is the separator. The separator then separates the wanted mineral that is filled into two barges named Lumumbati and Turangatolu, and to be transported to their storehouse in Lautoka, waiting to be shipped overseas. The waste is discharged back into the open sea, polluting the fishing ground that have been the main sources of livelihood of the local people. Interviewing people of the two villages, Votua and Nawaqarua, in relation to the extraction work and how it has and will impact their livelihood and relationship. Let me begin by highlighting the consultation process. The people believe that there was no proper consultation done, and they have been very vocal about it.
Kami vortegi boto na nina promiado no iso na patintike me baltano boto so na yau dola ke tau no na limatu wai se limatu la kausa ya na kedi ke atamam tam kuli mesaranga me na na kedi asi ni ko no boto me metar kala patintike.
This defeats an important aspect of the Catholic social teaching, where it emphasizes and believes that the people have a right and a duty to participate in society, seeking together the common good and well-being of all. Furthermore, the people say that those who signed the agreement for the work to take place were not well informed, for they do not understand what the documents contained, especially when it was all written in English.
Lebih vakinta valatai ngani sini bolu domada na kanit butu mata membo menta bena kor mituani ilang ngamele bola tunan sainta yor tu mandangan sainta na per tu sini klikila tu mandangan kena pamata gi bawala kita itu mena kena pamata latak.
Here it is clear that the process of consultation was not followed accordingly, for there was no free prior informed consent.
Don mendonandambe pe posakita kina mai vagarauda kana qoliqoli.
On the other hand, the forms of corruptions which concealed the actual environmental impact of a given project in exchange for favors usually produce spacious agreements which fail to inform adequately and allow for full debate. Sad to say, this leads to the reality that the people have lamented the government for the work not to take place, for it will definitely affect their food sources and economic security, which they have been relying on for many, many years.
Io dondon mi mamili pakatarungi bileta na le mamdola na wai na bitongotong.
But to no avail, for the mining extraction went ahead. The people believe the government was always on the side of the developers during the consultation period.
Gibabotia na matintu sila tumotoro ke gibabotia ke okoy tunga na le asa okoy. Wa gibabotia itam beke ko teno balik tuko ko na dole ko tinatawin ko linggondi. Iyo. Katlang kalem ko. Mu kampani, asa buwan kampani. Itam taraf na mo ko la vale buni latola baka o itu kisimbe tapos kasla motor me titimas la motor mo na tawin goling-goli me pamaramatay na lulwa nguna ro kay mampila tayo sa
The people of the two villages have learned to be resilient, for they have been advised many times to relocate, because they have been exposed to flooding year in, year out. However, their fathers and forefathers decided otherwise. For their main sources of livelihood, their food security is close by, which is the sea. Something they will now lose for good, something that they are being raped of because of the work that has been allowed to take place, which have poisoned the sea and its creatures.
Usama kamichana ulfalimu. Usama kila sawa katu, usama ina korpo mito. Quando daka bakanyuano. Ngai kunanga sesena ke mantundinga ke balta bunda. Ngani ngoni. Sendo talaka.
The people now cries out that there will be no fish, no crabs. How can they survive?
Tamay kwa ako na lai rurugo. Ni sa helino me natongo butoira. Sa satikay ng garaw, satikay na ika. Di sa dola pakataba.
For these are sources of their livelihood in terms of food sources and financial security. In addition, the people of the two villages now fall deep into their grave, for they are not only vulnerable in terms of flooding, but sea level rise and loss of food sources and economic sustainability.
Karo na lindu matatawa libu aki tarufia bakali butu sona lengali bundo ya son na undaki na tsunami undaki be iti tatata robitu iyo yenanga unaki ke limisantiro ingi ya zomo iki na kwali bunga mitangu tamadala kuma mamna tumbai.
Another important factor to consider is the impact of globalization, where value have shifted in the community from people-centered to wealth-centered, where money becomes the center of attraction in terms of decision-making, hence lead to the fragmentations of kinship ties that have been there for centuries.
Kamu sama kan bisa udah muri na wali bosi, rewali dia tak cukup turun dari musuh. Terus tambah saran juga, nakat juga na kubu bitalan wa musuh bangalalatai. Balatas rengango, nakat
Again, sad to say that the government and developers play their cards on the vulnerability of the people, that they do not care much about their relationship for the sake of economic gain. Father Thomas Berry, a priest from Northern Carolina, said, "Humanity needs to become aware of the sacredness of relationship between each other and the rest of creation, for it is one way of addressing ecological crisis." Pope Francis, in his encyclical Laudato Si, emphasizes the need to show special care for indigenous communities and their cultural traditions. He further mentioned that the land, Vanua, is sacred to them, and when they remain on their land, they themselves care for it best. Last but not the least, Fiji, no doubt being the region's leadership of the 23rd session of the Conference of the Parties, COP23, to the UN Convention on Climate Change in November 2017, is still very much committed to addressing the issue of climate change, and the Honorable Prime Minister has committed to his words by saying,
"To any developer from anywhere in the world, let me say this. If you intend to destroy or forever degrade our environment, you are not welcome in Fiji."
the fishing ground that have been giving life to the people for centuries in terms of their food sources and financial security is now being officially owned by Amax Resources Limited, a company based at Hay Street, West Perth in Australia. In place of the fish and crabs are mining machines and barges in full operations that have caused serious damages to the environment, polluting the sea and all the living creatures it contains, which are sources of livelihood to the people of Votua and Nawaqarua.